Hi there. Tell me, will Lucid go back to $50 as it was in 2021? Because as you can see now the stock price is about $3. So if the stock price goes back to $50, your return will be quite great. Over 500%, quite even more. But let's say maybe Lucid won't go to $50. There are low chances. But maybe the stock price will go to $10. So if that happens, you will have a 3x on your investment, and that will be great. Of course, this may happen or not. That's why you have to analyze this business to see its future outlook and if they can improve their business to make more money in the future. And if they succeed and make some profits, then the stock price can go back to $10 or even more. So that would be great, especially for investors who bought at the highest peak. Now, as you probably know, Lucid competes with other car companies such as Rivian, Tesla, NIO, Fisker, and many others. That's why it's quite important to analyze this company and understand it, if they can survive, because they currently are making no money. As you can see, their earnings are quite bad. For the last year, 2023, they had a loss of over 2.8 billion. And the revenue was over around 600 million for the entire year 2023. So this is quite bad. That's why you have to look at this business to understand it and see if they can improve those numbers. Because if the revenue goes up next year or in the next years, the next 5 years, and their income improves, their losses turn into profits, then you are able to make a good profit with Lucid. As you probably know, they have quite nice cars, luxury cars. When you see something like this on the streets, you may want to buy a car from Lucid. Now, let's look at the results, what they did in the last quarter and the last year, 2023. As you can see, their deliveries compared to the full year 2022 were up 47%. So that's a good sign. They produced over 2,000 vehicles in Q4, the last quarter, and they delivered over 700. So that's great. People are buying their cars. Now, another great thing about this company is that they have some cash, which is about 4.7 billion. So even though they have no profits, they are burning a lot of money, they still have some cash to fund their operations. And if they can survive and increase their revenue, they produce more cars, they deliver more cars, and are able to make a profit, then the stock price may go up. So that may happen. Now, you also have to see the downside, the risk, because this company may not make it. They might not succeed to make a profit. Because if you look at the analyst estimates, what the market expects for Lucid, you can see that the revenue is expected to grow a lot in the next 4 years. From 1 billion to over 11 billion by 2027. And also their earnings, their profits are expected to improve from a loss of over 2 billion to a loss of almost 500 million. So this is a huge improvement. If they can achieve this, then the stock price will rebound. But of course, you also have to be aware of dilution. Because as you can see, Lucid has currently over 2.2 billion shares. And this number has increased from 1.6 billion from 2021. And if they keep issuing more shares, because maybe they'll need more money to expand their business, to invest in their operations, then this will be another problem you have to be aware of. So the outlook seems good. The analysts, or the market better said, expects the revenue and earnings to improve in the future. But we also have to be aware of the risk, the downside, because maybe Lucid won't make it. They won't achieve those numbers. they won't become profitable. And if that happens, then the stock price may stay low for a longer period or go down even more. As you can see year to date, Lucid is down over 24%. So be aware that this is a risky investment. They currently are making almost 600 million revenue, but their total costs and expenses are over 3.7 billion, almost 3.7 billion. So that's quite a lot. And that's why they reported a loss over 2.8 billion. So if you decide to invest in this company, be aware that this is a high risk bet. They might not make it. And of course, be aware of dilution. As you can see, the number of shares went up a lot from 1.6 billion to almost 2.3 billion. And this is bad because the value of this business decreases over time if they issue more shares, of course. Now, if you look at their balance sheet, you can see that they have enough cash, almost 4 billion. So 1.3 billion, 2.4 billion, plus long-term investments, 400 million over. So in total, more than 4 billion. As you can see, they have enough money to fund their huge losses, to continue, to stay in the business, and maybe they may succeed to sell more cars and make a profit. And dilution won't be a problem if they become profitable. That can happen. That's why you have to know the reward and the risk. Plus, they also have some debt of around 2 billion. So the net cash position is about 2 billion. And the market cap is about 7.2 billion. Now you also have to look at their guidance, what they expect in the future. They expect next year to produce of about 9,000 vehicles. They are saying that they have enough liquidity at least into 2025, so you don't have to worry if Lucid goes bankrupt this year, 2024, or next year, because they have enough cash, as you've seen. And their capital expenditures are expected to be about 1.5 billion for 2024. Be aware of this number because, as I said, their capital expenditure, their expenses, are expected to be 1.5 billion. And they currently make only 600 million revenue. So their deliveries have to go up a lot to cover those expenses. Of course, they also have 4 billion in cash, and that's enough for 2024 and maybe 2025. So Lucid has good tailwinds from the EV industry. As you can see, the market expects the revenue to increase a lot in the future, but you also have to be aware of the risk. This company is not profitable yet. There is the risk of dilution, plus there is a lot of competition. Imagine you are a customer. What will you choose? A Lucid car, Tesla, Rivian, Fisker, or Neo? Or other cars, the traditional brands such as Ford, Toyota, and others. So it's quite hard to increase their customer base, to attract more buyers. That's why Lucid is a risky investment. The stock price may go up, they have their opportunities, but also the risk is quite high. The market cap can decline another 50% from the current level. By the way, if you want access to more research, you can send me an email or see the link in the video description, where you can find out more about my research platform, the way I analyze business and find winning investments. So that's it for this video, and if you have other questions, please let me know in the comments.